Cowboy Jim, what an honor and a privilege it is for me at 72 years of age to sit and watch the news in Canada, CBC, CTV. It's very difficult. I'm just telling you, you don't want to eat too large a meal before you sit down and try to consume that regurgitated talking point junk crap, really, that is put forth up here. Actually, in the States too, geez, without doubt. And, uh, and try to live your day and try to bring God some honor and try to encourage people to help hold our country together when the leader of our country is trying to tear it the hell apart. And that's what he's doing. People tend to try to emulate their heroes. Uh, I have a lot of heroes, and they're not all men of God, shall we say. I'm not blind to the equity and the value and the benefit of people who don't happen to share my belief system, because they don't have to share my belief system. I, on the other hand, am obligated to live out my belief system. And I take a shot at it with my whole heart. So I'm listening, and I'm cooking a little. I cook a tiny bit and all that sort of stuff. And I had so much fun down in Coots. It was such an honor to meet so many true Canadians, and to walk over to that little town, the actual physical town of Coots, and walk up to that. Oh boy, I'll tell you, she's a fence. Yeah, yeah. It's a plastic imitation chain that's strung through the center of town. Well, there's no one there standing to check your passport, let me tell you. And I reached across the great divide, shall we say, between Canada and the United States of America, and I shook hands with American people. They didn't look very much different than we do, which is, in my case, it's unfortunate that I didn't really see anyone that looked as bad as I do, but that's all right. I'm sure if I'd spent a bit longer, I may have found one or two or more. But what an honor as a Canadian to have the right, and we may well have the right for a little while to dissent, to express an opinion that is outside the considered norm by our liberal leadership. And it doesn't matter what color his face is today. I mean, shoot, if it's white or whatever you want to call it, it could be black by the end of the day and vice versa. So let's talk about the Emergencies Act because, gee, the time is moving. The Emergencies Act, you know, that's a name that has not been with that act for ever. The Emergencies Act was called the War Measures Act. Hot damn. Are we at war? Like, I suppose as a Canadian citizen, just an average guy, I suppose we really are at war in some ways against tyranny, anarchy, injustice. As a result of standing up and dissenting or not acquiescing to the whims of a government led by people who purport that truckers are racist. That Canadians are racist. Last poll I heard of, boy, I hope they come out with some fresh polls. I'm not getting tired of speaking about it, but last poll I saw, done by a political aware pollster company in Ottawa, was that 1/3 of all Canadians stand with the Canadian Freedom Convoy. Hey, just the name itself, doesn't that just strike fear right into your blessed liberal political heart? Oh, Freedom Convoy. Oh, hey, a lot of people out here in Coots got nailed with guns. They should have been. Anyone that brings a gun to a family event, well, they should be trimmed a bit. I don't know the whole inside story. Don't have a clue. I hope that when it goes to court, as it will, we'll find out more. Oh, I do hope that what we find out is that it's not horseshit, because that's what we're. Sorry about that. I'm really not sorry. What we see is political pussies standing there espousing, oh, great and wonderful giant threats. A man never needs to threaten anyone. You just take them straight outside. Don't waste your breath. It's not valuable. It's not worth it. Geez, you might say something you might have to live up to. Oh, wouldn't that be a novel idea? In Canadian and U.S. politics, if the politicians actually concluded that they really had to live up to the crap that they put forth. Novel. Canadian War Measures Act put into play by quite possibly the most disrespected leader in the known world, because our Canadian convoy, Freedom Convoy, is being emulated around the world, and I believe it will continue. I wonder about Ireland. I wonder when the Irish are going to wake up and say, no more mandates. You told me I had to get vaccinated. I did. Had my 2 vaccinations. Also had COVID. Well, for myself personally, I've had COVID. I've had my 2 vaccinations, and now they're putting forth the idea that you have to receive a booster every year. Well, the straight of it is the intent by Pfizer and some of the other political leaders who own an awful lot of stock is that from now on, everyone will need to be vaccinated once a year for eternity. I don't talk about COVID. I hope that wasn't talking about COVID. I didn't say one thing or another, neither good nor bad, except everyone is going to have to be vaccinated from now until the day they die. So let's get away from this COVID stuff. Oh, gee whiz. Oh, this is not a good subject. Let's go back to Ottawa. That's safer. I pray to God that, and God knows that I pray to Him about this, that we will have the privilege and the honor of voting again in an election Oh, not necessarily like the elections in the States where people who have died 40 years ago are still voting. Who said there isn't life after death? Bit of humor there. But if we as Canadians are to be privileged enough to vote for something, I always like that saying, you better stand for something, children, or you're going to fall for everything, and that is an absolute fact. If we have the honor and the privilege of voting in the future and voting blackface the hell out of power, we better do it. And the next person that takes his place, you better have some morals, some morality, politicians. Where is Stephen Harper when you need him? Or Donald J. Trump? Or Benjamin Netanyahu? I admire those three guys. There are others up here. I don't know a single one in the Liberal Party, nor in the NDP. I wonder if that Sikh man, head of the NDP, took the time to talk to his brother. Remember the wonderful Sikh who had been running truck in Canada for 14 years. I wonder if that political leader had enough guts to go and meet that man. I doubt it. I truly doubt it. Too busy spewing self-righteousness. Pathetic. So, I usually don't get an edge on me until I've done my fourth or fifth video, so mellow out, Cowboy Jim. I can do that. So we are experiencing the joy of the Lower Measures Act because Trudeau, in his color, believes in his heart that if you as a Canadian would dare disagree with any of his edicts, that is an affront to his narcissism, Geraldine. You Canadians, you're free. Are you free? Well, you can't choose. You can't decide for yourself. We need politicians to tell us what is right, lest we screw up our own lives. Oh, that's funny. What government hasn't screwed up the lives of so many of the people who voted them into office? Well, I wouldn't mind being a Republican down in the States if Donald J. Trump were my president. I just want you to know that. That man, I believe Stephen Harper too, and Benjamin Netanyahu, those three guys, they didn't say anything they weren't well able to live up to, follow through, affect change. In Canada now, our Prime Minister is being held in abject shame around the world. Our Freedom Convoy is really, I've said this for a few weeks now, it's really just getting started. Because only in Canada, you say? Well, no. All around the world. All around the world. People are emulating, they're looking, they're considering, they're thinking, they're processing thought. And they are protesting. Well, I never went to a protest in my entire life, but then I'm only 72. I was kind of pleased to hear that Donald J. Trump had a birthday the other day. He's 73. We have the same hair problem, but thankfully he's about 6 months older than I am. Listen, we are Canadians. I truly believe that our only hope is to fall upon our faces and say to God, if you're real, I really want to believe in you. If you're not, I don't want to have anything to do with you. But if you're real, oh, we need your help, eh? Oh, we need your help. Because we happen to, as Scripture says, the quality of government is what you deserve, or you would have done something about it, which means you would have voted differently or voted at all. I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. All the political decisions are made in Ottawa or in Ontario and Quebec and Albertans, the prairies. We just kind of make our protest vote, and everybody decides down east what we're going to experience out here. Oh, and they also decide how they're going to divide the spoils that we earn and work in cleaning up the Fort Mac, world's greatest oil spill. Yep, yep, yep. Liberal politicians, they've been dipping their hand into that barrel of oil out here for a long time. Sick people. Well, children, God bless you, and less than 20 minutes, that's really good. A summation. War Measures Act, put in place, call it Emergencies Act or whatever, but what it was originally called was the War Measures Act, put in place by a pussy. Not sure what color of face stuff he's going to put on today. Well, it wouldn't be First Nations, because he holds them in contempt. My brothers and sisters in the First Nations, no matter how many times the Liberal government has paid you off in the past, you should stand for something the next election, and make your vote count. And it sure won't be placed on the Liberal side of the ledger. Canadians, humble yourself and pray. Honor God. Get to know if he's real. If he is, that's good. If he isn't, forget it. I believe he's real. God bless. God bless.